Yeah, good morning, all. It has become important and necessary for me to always drop videos of moves of what is likely to happen in the market for your learning. And I'm quite impressed by the way some of us on the orb wants to learn. And that is also giving me the encouragement I need to push out more of these videos for your learning to get more perfect. There are things I want to say at the start of this video that are very important. Number one, invest more into learning before you invest into trading. My thing is taking more time. For those who are paying money, this you are getting for free. Uh, I don't know if some of you have actually paid some money to learn and how difficult it has been. Uh, Even in your busy schedule, how it has been, learning something that is new. Uh, for most tutors and those who will teach you, they will take lots of money from you. Some of them can charge as much as $2,000 for the entire course. Some will charge you, a membership fee of $200 every month. And it's really more expensive considering, the part of the world that we came from. And it is important, I would say, to learn and to understand how this thing works before you begin to drop in your money. Nobody wants to give, you don't want to give this market your money. Likewise, the market also does not want to give you money. It doesn't come for free. It's more expensive when you invest into trading than investing into learning. You waste more money, trust me. You see how much money you would have lost. Those money that you have lost, if you have actually paused for a moment and say, okay, can I spend money learning first to understand how it works? If you look at the amount of money, you might want to get discouraged and thinking that, investing in this thing is more rewarding. Trust me, you're going to lose a whole lot of money that way when you don't even know what happens. It is not a year, I mean, it's not okay. If it's not this way, it has to be the other way. It is not like that. This market will move to and fro, upwards and backwards, but there are limits. And that is what you must understand. You must understand the structure from the higher time frame before you can now break it down to the smallest time frame to understand. You can't just take the structure from the smallest time frame and you want to understand what is working or what is working out. It is not going to work like that. Even if you are counting your way on the lowest, the minute or the micro time frame, you're going to lose money when you don't understand what is it like the structure you are seeing in the bigger time frame. So you have to look at all these time frames all together to be able to understand what the structure is doing in the middle of it. And again, I want to warn you, when you trade too much pairs, thinking that as much pairs you have trading, uh, you are going to make more money, you will be duplicating your risk. For instance, if you are on USD pairs now, you are trading Euro USD, you are trading AUD USD, you are trading Pound USD, you are trading USD JPY, you are trading USD CAD, you are trading all these NZD USD. These are all USD pairs. Even gold. Gold also is a USD pair. Silver. These are USD based pairs. The more of these trades you take, you are reducing your risk. So if anything should go wrong with a trade, everything is going to go wrong with most of them. And in terms of structures, when you are doing corrective structures, they appears to be slightly in different structure mode. So they don't mirror themselves like that. What mirrors it's USD, Euro USD to DXY may mirror inversely, but all other ones, not until, probably they are doing a motive wave that you might be able to tell, okay, it's at the beginning of a new structure is or at the end of the new structure. The corrective structures that they do in the middle may not be entirely at the same level. So why don't you focus on a particular trade? If you ask me, you don't just base what you want to do on people's testimony. You must have your own testimony. You must understand this thing first before you put in a whole lot of money, unless you be gambling. So I want to let you know that you don't gamble too, and you don't let, is it greed now or your emotion runs you? No matter how strong you think you are psychologically, by the time you have strings of losses, you'll be discouraged and you might want to even give up. You might want to ask yourself, is it that hard to make money? And is it easy to make money in the first place? Yeah. Do you think money will just fall from the sky in the first place? So you have to arm yourself with understanding, with knowledge, before you want to put in a whole lot of money into this kind of a trade. So having said that, why don't you go on a trade instead of putting your micro whatever 0.01 and you make it in on the 5 trades of the same pair? It doesn't make any sense. You'll be looking at how many charts that are different. If only one chart is what you want to deploy on that one chart. Look at your analysis, do your back testing, and when you see that that chart is, why don't you increase your lot on that same pair? After all, it's all about making money. Then when you do that, you can even start on that same pair on a very small lot size to look at, okay, now, I think the analysis is going the way and the structure is forming the way I think it is. And this is the high probability. And when the structure has made its own move, you can say, okay, this structure has made the move. And so it's going to do this. So when you know what it's going to do, at that level that you are anticipating, then why don't you now throw a bigger lot size of the same pair? That is how to do it. And I said something, I said, I will be limiting for now on Euro USD, that's Euro dollar. So let's work with that Euro dollar and see what we can get from Euro dollar. Because what I'm trying to do now is to make the entry and the TP as precise, let me say, the entry as precise as possible. Trust me, it's not easy breaking it down to the micro, to the smaller time frame to look at structure. And if I'm going to do that on how many instruments, 5 instruments, it won't kill me. Yeah. Do I really have that time? But with the knowledge that I have and with what I've gained over the years, it is best for me to do that. Let's work one pair. and let's do it. If I have the time to look into other pairs or see possibility, maybe I would drop it because at the level of the price now, we are at the critical level that anything can change quickly, but not so quickly. You will see that it wants to change. Now, enough of all my sermon now. We want to look at what can happen where we are, with euro dollar. And in terms of analysis, what can change? We may be looking at 3 or 4 possibilities of what the price can do at this level. And we want to go for the highest probability of all the options that we have, Now, we have said that on this time frame, let me go back to the daily time frame, if that will bring out something for us. On the daily time frame, we are seeing that price had been dropping, and that looking at this is the beginning of a new leg. And we said this is like with 1 and with 2 and with 3 and with 4 situation to finish this before we turn off. Now, with what you know about price action, it's not only price action that you need to study with and to know what the market makers are trying to do. You have seen this price action. They have told you several times that, when you see a price action like this one, or the price wants to make higher high, then immediately you had that, this is another day. It's a doji that you are seeing. And they tell you, when you see a doji form, a doji most likely indicates a reversal. This is giving you a bullish continuation. This is giving you a reversal on the daily candle. And we're going to see the way it's going to close in another few hours. By the time the market opens tonight, maybe in another 2 hours or thereabout, it's going to close. Is it going to still close like this or not? So at this level, you are seeing this as a bullish continuation, and you are seeing this as a doji, which marks, okay, maybe now the sellers and the bulls, the buyers, they are par, and when they are par, their strength is now, they are trying to force the market back. That is what it's saying. So which one is going to win? Is it this or this? So this has presented to you 2 possibilities, a continuation, or now they are preparing to back down and push the price further down. So these are the possibilities. Now, what we now need to know is that, okay, what is the structure? Where is the structure in itself? Apart from me having these 2 key important price action at this level on the daily. So what is the structure? Where is the structure in itself? So we're going to look inward now. I'm going to present those possibilities. Let me switch straight into, I'm still going to look into the higher time frame to let you see what may happen later. It's a long-term picture. Yes, a long time. I'm still going to discuss that. Okay, let me bring back this instrument. Now, you remember any Friday that I told you that price, exactly we're here, and I said price is likely going to fall the price is making it to move to do what? To fall. I said that, and I and this was where, and I said something, looking at this one as a wave one, or at the end of the wave, maybe a four situation, and that we're going to have a five. And I said, it is not that. Because the way this one came down, it violated fourth. You must hold on to what you know. It is very important to hold on to what you know. And when it's not working out like that, know that it's not working. This one had gone up very fast in a very motive wave. Can you see? Very motive wave. This one is a motive wave. But looking at the inside of this wave, on even on the 1 hour time frame, you can't see anything to count with 1, 2, 3 to 5. Not until you break it down probably to 15 minutes time frame. So if I may do that, if I may do that now, on the 15 minutes time frame, and we want to see the same wave, then we can see that after this move, the price made the first move here, which is a wave and a correction of 2, 1, 2, 3, and a further upside. And if you look at the field relationship to get an extension of 3, this works out perfectly for 3, and this works out perfectly for 4, and this works out perfectly for 5, which is a bit extended to make that 5. And that, even though it's a motive wave, it's still a 5-wave structure. And we add this one in the middle, which is like a retracement of this wave A. And because it's a retracement of wave A, it is not a fourth, because again, know that I said something about looking at wave. When a wave is making its move, and what tells you that that wave is done, it's a break of the trend line. So if you bring this from the beginning of this wave here to this wave here, and you drag it across, so you might not see it on time, but at least you're still thinking that, oh, it has broken this thing, so it is gone. That wave is ended. Now, when you have a break of a trend line, does it mean that the price is going to turn down immediately? No. So they might correct a move to still make higher high. Now, where the price is done to break a structure and begin to turn to the other side, that is what most of the time it's very difficult for people to tell, because immediately you add this, price didn't come all the way down. Price was making a new high, even though there was a break of a structure here. So now we take this also to understand from this one and the new high there. So you drag it down for another break of a structure to the upside. But that tells you a break of a structure, but at the same time, you are looking at the bigger picture, what wave you are looking at, what kind of correction, what is the limit of the correction, where are we most likely to go? Begin with say, before we say, okay, we are turning down. Now, looking at this wave to this wave, I told us that it is not a forced situation. If you take this one, maybe from a 2, assuming even if the 2, yeah, the 2 is down here, very close to that thing, and you take it up to this place. So this is limit of a 4, and from 0.5 is a 2. So it broke that a bit to the downside. So that tells me it could be a wave 2, not a wave 4, because it has what invalidates a wave 4 by breaking through 5. So for me, it could be a wave 2, not a wave 4 situation. So because I know it's not a wave 4 situation, this one cannot be a wave 5. And because we are correcting also, and I know it has gone up in what? In in three-wave structure. Now, it cannot be a three-wave structure, but this one going up A and a B. So if it's an A and a B situation, what do I expect? Then, and I told us that we are likely to see an equal leg here of this wave move to an 100. Eventually, from here, we were here on Friday, and I said, this looks to me like an ending structure of this wave. This wave is burning itself out. So, and I brought in what an RSI also to validate my point that you can see at this height here, this is an RSI, 15 minutes RSI. And even at this point where we are, we were, price made, went down further more. Then if you look at the new height here also, you can see that the price, if it's, though it's a new high, it's higher than here or here, and the price still was below this high here. So the RSI, even on the lower time frame, is telling me there is no steam again. Okay, I said that. So the break of this out of this structure, which is an ending structure, is a corrective structure. So the break out of this structure first tells me that they are losing momentum. So that is out. That's the immediate structure that was broken. Now, taking structure for structure of A and a B, and now a B wave, a C wave going up, and you can see a move and a return, which is the correction in the middle. And now when you have this and the correction and you draw it, there is a break. So the second break also tells me, see, a second break happened, tells me we are losing that thing. But could the price still turn higher? Yes. Even if it goes like 100 pips further than where it is currently, it's just like what you are seeing on the 15 minutes time frame, which is a loss in RSI, may not immediately reflect on the 15 minutes time frame or 5 minutes time frame before it reflects on the 1 hour, and 4 hour may take a while. So that in itself may explain why you might be seeing a bit of higher moves to the upside, not until eventually it is now represented or you've seen or is now evident on what? On 4 hour before they now begin to move the price to the downside. Then it's going to be evident on 4 hour, be evident on what? The daily, before they now begin to move the price to the downside. Now, when we now get to the bigger time frame of the fifth wave being corrected, and they now want to move the price and change direction or do a big correction to the upside, then you now expect that the RSI will now tell you on the daily or the weekly. You won't see it on the weekly now that, is it 5? No. I'm going to show you all of these things. I will try and let you see that, so that how the lower time frame begins to first tell you, something wants to happen. So immediate structure has been broken. This BC structure also has been broken. Yes, price still went a little bit higher, and the RSI didn't particularly, was making new high because the momentum is dying. Now, we were here when I told us that this situation could actually be an ABC where you can have a 100 extension or a 123. And so now let's look at it again on the 1 hour. Now on the 1 hour, inside the 1 hour, inside of the 1 hour, so we see this as a bridge now, because we could actually perceive these ones to be wave 1 and wave 2. If it's going to be a wave 1 and wave 2, then before this one can turn, that's the first scenario I'm going to present to you now. If this is a wave 1 and wave 2 situation, then wave 3 will probably get to what? Get to 163 at least. Now, if that is going to happen for wave 3, so we take it from here, which is a wave 1. Beginning of a wave 1 to this place of A, which is the height of wave 1, back to what we regard to as wave 2, which is this red area now here, that line. So if that is the case, this is 1618 for a wave 3 situation. Now, exactly at that level, I'm putting a red, okay? Now, if in case that happens, and we say this is a wave 3 situation, let me just bring something for. Okay, let me take this. I'm not calling that, but that is how to actually look at this thing. Okay, we said a wave 3 situation around this area. It is going to be a wave 3 situation. That is a 1618. And it will mark the height of where we expect wave 3. And if that happens, that means we're going to correct 4 to the downside. And we'll now look at the limit of a 4. But then, looking at what the immediate structure here is doing, in a wave 1 and a wave 2 situation, and we have a move to the downside, this shouldn't have broken this at all. This should not give me, the momentum is dying off. So the momentum dying off on what I think is wave 3 is telling me it's not a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 situation. So that's the first thing you must get. The momentum is dying off to have broken outside of this one. But I would expect that if it's wave 2 and this is a new wave, let me go inside of that again. Let me try and make you see. If it's a new wave that I'm seeing here, and the way we had wave 1 and wave 2 here, this trend line should still be holding itself. If this one is going to go higher, which means this might be a wave 1 of wave 3 and a wave 2 of wave 3. And in that case of a wave 1 of wave 3 and wave 2 of wave 3, it should be going up. But it's now losing momentum here without even reaching close to 123 of that move. But 161.8 is up here. 161.8 here. It didn't even get to 123, which is around this area. So for me, that is not a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 situation. There is a loss of momentum already. Now, and you can't call this also, that's the first scenario. You can't call this also that, okay, we are having a fourth wave situation, whereby it's a fourth wave and we want to correct a wave 5. Yeah, you've got to look at all these possibilities. So are we saying that this is a wave 2 and this is a wave 4 situation? Okay, let's look at that possibility. From the beginning of wave 3, if it's 3, so where we have this now, this has pierced a 50. So momentum is dying off. It is not a wave 2, wave 4 situation, or wave 3, wave 4 situation. If this is a wave 2, again, let's look at, okay, it is not the big wave 2 that we are considering. We want to consider the internal structure of this new wave. If we take this one as a wave 1 and a wave 2 here to do a wave 3, this is how to look at the whole thing. First, could this be a wave 1, wave 2 situation to here? Yes, it may be, because this is 50 and price broke 50. to get to this red area. So it's a wave two, it could be a wave two situation. Now, taking that as a wave two situation, then before this one can give me this must give me a 163. I mean, sorry, yeah, 161 to be a wave three. So we look at that possibility from this one has been a wave one and a wave, end up with wave one here back to a wave two, which is at this level. The 161.8 is up here. So it didn't get to 161.8, which is really up here before this red. So, and it's already dying off. That is out of it. Okay. Now, these are ways you look at what price may be doing. Even if, yes, they want to say it is truncated, wave five is truncated, you know, wave five of this particular move is truncated, it didn't get to this place. Assuming it's truncated, then can we have a four situation? So let's go. This is from wave two to a wave five. This is already 61.8 retracement. It is no. It is no. So I'm letting you see how you look at even the structure that you are seeing in front of you, if it's aligning or not aligning. So it's not aligning for me to see that, okay, this is there is an end of a wave here. And that is what I'm telling us. There is the momentum, so the price is most likely going to be falling. That is what I'm saying. The last is most likely going to be falling. So I see that the momentum is lost already. But can the price still go higher and break this top here? Yes, it can happen. So you must know that it can happen because there are liquidity above here that the price may want to grab. Look at here. The price first signal, momentum is dying, broke this first trend here, broke the second trend here. What did the price do? Price went up to do what? To break this top, to grab liquidity and knock off whoever is putting stop loss here at that level. And don't say that this is on one hour time frame. This is double top, a top here and a top here, and price will not still go a bit higher and knock off people. Price may still do that. You must know that. Price, so it's you have to look at everything. Now, for me, because price has broken this to the downside, tells me that momentum is lost. And it's most likely we are going to have a change of that and probably moving to the downside. Yes. Price may fall from here down. Price may still go up and break the top. But what I see is that the direction of this wave that we are doing is towards the downside. When you know all these things, then you guide yourself to know, okay, where am I going to push my stop loss? That is what we are trying to do. We are looking at corrections, we are looking at momentum dying off, we are looking at price actions, we are looking at so many things to know where we can place a second entry that is big or bigger than what we've had. And if anything is going to change, what are we going to do? So that is what so everything is pointing for now towards the downside, that we are moving price down. Now, my projection here of this wave A and a B giving us a 100, it can give us a 100 or a 123 if it's a zigzag. So it's looking more like a zigzag. That is what I'm saying. In a zigzag situation, A and B, and A length of A can be equal to C can be equal to A, which is 100 extension, or it may do what? It may be 123 in a zigzag. So having that at back of our mind, let's now see what that may give us. Because I told us that I don't expect a truncation if it's going to be a zigzag. And let's see what the price now did. from the beginning of A to the end of A in blue to, which is the beginning of B to the end of B in red, that place. Exactly. Price came to make 100 points exactly at that level. So price gave us a reaction at that level. Because I said it's a zigzag, and it could be a 123. Let's see. If it's going to be that a 123 of this will now be at this level inside that blue box. Could it happen? Yes, it could happen. Should it happen? No. Could it happen? Yes. Should it happen? No. And if price should get to that place, then I will tell you there is a change of a structure on the bigger time frame. The price should do a 123 of that, of a zigzag. Price doing an 100 extension looks pretty much okay with me, but now doing a zigzag of 123, then that it's not looking good. The price will do that, then there will be a change of structure. Now, but could price eventually now make a 120 between 123 and a 161.8 of the entire, if it's regard this as 1 and 2 and a 3 situation, which I presented before here. So if price should make an ascent between 123 and 161.8, which you may think is wave 3, though I have said that it's not a wave 3 situation because of the loss of momentum. But in case price tracks to that area, then you will know that something else is happening, and we are going to read and look for a correction to the downside, exit, and price will make a higher high. I'm not calling that because I can't call that now. But price may crawl. If price should crawl to this point, then I know that they are heading for a bigger correction. So price may get into this territory, move a bit down before we see a further upside, but I'm not calling that. These are ways we can look at what is happening. Now, let's now go in immediately to see the structure. Price gave us this as a first sign. Price broke it. It's only if you can probably read that to see that wave should at least give us at least 100 points, and validly so, price may do it and do it and give us an 100 points equal leg of A to C, which is equal. But when you now switch to the bigger time frame, you will understand why I said that is still legal. Now, looking at the move, this move came down and broke this trend line. This is out. So broke this trend line here. The connector between A and a B wave had been broken. And that still tells me a loss of momentum. And when you see all of these, it's the big boys who understand the structure. They are trying to do what? They are trying to relinquish their position because they know the sellers want to come in. Those who have been buying wants to still close their buy up before they move the price down. So the price may still break the structure one more time or not, or may fall from here. So what do we want to do? We want to see if this is going to be a wave 1 and a wave 2 situation. Price should not go beyond 867.8. That was why I said I might be updating this. So from this point to this point, we are seeing that reaction. So the point I add the pink is 76 for wave 2, and it is 98262. And I said, you may enter if you have not entered, you may enter at 98220. But the limit of it, of wave 2, is where I have this also, which is 98. Anything more than that, and there is a slight break to the upside, then I know that price will break the top again. And then we'll be looking for what exactly price is going to do. Price may break it. Once price does not violate this red area, then price will still be coming down. So we must be ready for anything that is going to happen in that zone. So now, this is a momentum to the downside on the 1 hour, and the price had been crawling up, which the crawl up here is corrective. But though it's corrective, it doesn't mean that it can't break the top once more. It can, but when that happens, price is going to fall. Now, let's look inside of that structure itself on the 15-minute time frame. Now, inside of this structure in itself on the 15-minute time frame, the structure that came down, does this one look like a 5-wave structure? Because if this one has, looked like a 5-wave structure, I may take this one as a wave 2. Does this look like a 5-wave structure? Because if it does not look like a 5-wave structure, there's a likelihood that the price will be breaking this to the upside one more time before doing what? Before coming down. Is this a wave 1, A, B, C to finish a 2? Are we inside of a 3 of this? That is a wave 1 again and a wave 2 situation. Are we inside of that? With this price action on 15 minutes time frame here and here, are we coming down? Are those guys that I said they should stay here, are they going to lose out? It's better to lose out. For me to know that price is coming down, we will look for an entry, a new entry. But am I convinced that this is a wave 1? A smaller wave 1 before we have a smaller wave 2? I've got to see this one as a 5 structure. So let me go inside of 5 minutes. Now, inside of 5 minutes, okay. Now, inside of 5 minutes, it may as well look like a 5-wave structure where we have 1, the 1 and a 2, and an extension of this this is a 61.8, yeah, that's a 2. An extension of that to give me a 3. A 2, a 161.8 is here, yeah, fine. This could be a 3, which is correct for a 3, and you now add this action to the upside, which is like a 4 and a 5. Yeah. So on the 5 minutes time frame, it still looks more like we are seeing a momentum, that gives a 5-wave structure on the micro time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one had gone up correctively. So correction like A, B, and a C, where this one, if you break it more than, could be a 3-wave, and this also a 3-wave, and this is a 5-wave, and but entirely it's A, B, and a C to give an A. Now, this move to the downside, is it a B or a 2? Now we are breaking it down to look at what may happen, the next reaction that may happen. So if we take this up here to this point, these had gone below 50. So this may be a 2 situation. And if it's a 2 situation, then the price should go higher to do a 3. But I have a problem again. The problem that I have is that if it's a 2 situation and this is a 1 that we call an A and this is a B, price shouldn't have broken this trend line again to the downside. It should gain momentum to go up. So everything is still telling me price is dying off. That is what I'm saying. Price is dying off. So because if it's an A and a B and we're going to have a C, the C should gather momentum and break above. Even on this time frame, that's what I'm saying. So there's a loss of momentum. Price, of course, price may still do this, push a bit higher to get you in or not, but this thing looks like it's dying off. If we say this one is an A and a B and this one is a C, in the last wave of a C, you look at this trend line, it's broken to the downside. And could you have taken this one as a 4, the 4th wave? If you take this one as the 4th wave, does it look like a 4th wave to you and that we're going to have a 5 wave to come to this side? You look at it, this is the 1st wave and the 2nd wave. So is it a with 2, with 3, 4 situation? So from what you think it's a wave 2 here to the end of what you think a wave 3 in that place. This is a 38 and this is a 50. Price had broken a 50. So it is not. It is not. So price is falling. It is not. Now, what could it be again? Then would I now see this one as a wave 1 and a 2 situation to the upside and the price now making more down, moving, probably breaking down? That is not, also is not impossible. So this one has to make a wave 1 and a wave 2 here for a price to move further down. So let me see that as a possibility. So from the top to the bottom here, if that is a wave 2 to the upside, yes, that is a 76.4. Looks like a wave 2 to the upside. Now, before I can say yes, this thing is confirming that the price is going lower, then I have to see something, at least 163 to the downside. So within this micro correction, I have to see 161 rather. So from 1 here, oh, sorry, I have to take that again. From the beginning of 1 here to the end of 1 there, back to 2 up here, I need to see 100 violated and it's 161.8 violated, which is here. So if that happens, price breaks low of this, then we are coming down because price shouldn't probably break the low of that. But you know, in a corrective format, when you have wicked correction, anything is possible because price may decide not to break this low or may decide to even break it and still go a bit up. But all that I'm seeing here, they are wasting time and they might be doing a longer correction here so that you want to freak people out. But there is a loss of momentum, there's a divergence. That is what we can see. There's a divergence, there's a loss of momentum, there's a divergence. So that is one thing you must get. So this is broken out. This has been broken out of the major. This also is broken out away from. So we must be ready to look for anything in here of this correction, because this is the first correction, and we may be having, instead of, this is a B, instead of having a C to the upside, we can still now see this one as an A and a possible B and a C to finish a C before they come down. So anything is possible. But let's see how the price moves between here. But this is where, for now, when the price gets here, we'll look at it. If it's break this 76 and 85, then we'll look at it. We are just within the point of action. Now, the point of decision really is between this red area and this area. This 41, 42 pips, it's a critical level for us to know what the price wants to do. So it's no more than that. Whatever it is no more than that. That 41, 42 pips to that pink area, it is no more than that. That the price should react if they want to break, and they should force the price down again. So it is not more than that. So, but what will be happening from here is what we are interested in. We want to see what will be happening from here. The price may take this one as, let's see, the possibility of that correction, inside correction. This correction, inside correction, if you take this one down to this point, this is like a 90 already. So if it's a 90, we may be seeing this one as an A again, a micro A to a B, and we might be seeing this move to the downside as what? As a regular flat. So if it's going to be a regular flat in that case, then let's look at that possibility of it being a regular flat. From here down to this level, and a regular flat to where the price is. A regular flat to where the price is slightly below here, and which I can put a regular flat. Let me now use a red. So this red, so what price are giving us is an area once the price breaks that to the downside for a regular flat. Then that's the end of it. Price will fall. Price will fall. So if it stays within here for a regular flat, then we can still see one more leg up. That's what I'm saying, before price eventually falls. So because it's an inside correction of a thing here, so if that now happens, that you see an A and a B, I'm not calling that. I have to see more structure. So an A and a B and a C situation. So this will now complete, this will now be a new correction in here, which is a macro correction in here. So which the new low here will now be a B for this one. This one now be a B A, and this will now be a B for the price to now turn higher to give us this C. If price breaks this red, that's the end of it. So this is the red area. Once the price breaks that, once the price go below 97,680, that's the end. Price is going down. Price may still come here, break it a bit, and still turn up. That's what I'm saying. So if that happens, the price stay within this frame to go up, and we see a push up, then this one now becomes an A and a B here. And what would that give us? Let's see what that will give us. I hope you are enjoying this analysis. That will now give us it could still be a zigzag, a bit above 61, but it could be a zigzag. So if it's going to now be a zigzag, now what will the price now do? So price will give us an 100 or 120 from there, which will now mean these. And that new low, I will leave all these things for us to see. And that new low, So which means price may still be tapping the top one more time before coming down. So that it taps the top one more time before coming down, or it will not do a 123. The 123 is a bit outside here. I won't be calling this. So it can still tap the top. That is how to look at possibility. But anyhow, I've discussed the inside of this into details of what may happen, and that the price should not see this red off, but price, once they break this to the downside, then we are coming down, because this would have been violated, and so we are coming down. So all that is possible for now. All that is possible for now. Now, looking at the higher time frame, I've discussed this as the momentum loss already. So looking at the higher time frame, let's allow it load. It is always good to look at possibilities, what price may do or not. Looking at the higher time frame, if price breaks this above and we are not close for one reason or the other, this is the next destination. So far, the price remains below here. We will still be going down. It only means that the structure would have changed for us to sell, and the price will now come to break this one to the top. But I'm not calling that. I'm not calling that. So let's go inside of the 1 hour has given us a push down, which is a momentum, and the 4 hour, what has it given us? The 4 hour also has given us the momentum. That's a candle to the downside. So, you know, the price, we now need to see this kind of a candle on the daily. This kind of a candle, we need to see it on the daily to, you know, to mark that that's the end truly. On the daily, they are closed. So on the daily, we have not seen that. So this is what we are getting. So I'm back to where we started this discussion on the daily. We're not seeing that. So we need to see the proper candle, you know, or this kind of a candle, either this kind of a candle or a red candle like this. So we need to see either this or this. This or this candle, that should be an opposing color, not the bullish. That we now say yes. So we need Monday and Tuesday to confirm that we are going further down. So now let's look at the daily time frame and what we expect in terms of what the price should not do. Now we are breaking it higher now. So this is the daily. Now this is 2 for us. This is 2, and this is 1 of 5 and the 2 of 5. So if we look at that, from that perspective, if this is the end of a 3, and this is, oh, sorry, it's other way around. Remind me. So from a 2 to correct it, 4 from this pink, and this is a 38, and this is a 50. This 50 should not be violated. That is what I'm saying. This 50 should not be violated. That was why I said that's red, the price of 98 680 or 98 683 must not be violated at any instance. Price may touch it, they still allow, but price breaking it and coming to 61, then it's something else. It's something else. Price may come to 61. If price does that and come up to 61, then we might be having reactions around the air for us to relinquish our position of a sell for further buy. But I'm not calling a buy at this level because the structure looks incomplete to the downside. So I would rather want to see price still go down, break this structure to the downside to complete 5 before we move up. Price looks the way the wave will come to the downside, we will know where the price is going to stop. Price, because it's also an impulsive wave. That is the reason why I might think price will break the downside, will break this low before turning up. If you are seeing in a very impulsive way, when we had this price, this correction broke to the downside and before turning upside for the downside. So it's impulsive, and that has been the trend. So price may break here or just break a bit low before we have now what we now look as a double bottom for an upside on the daily. So, but this is where price should not violate. Once that is reached, and that was why I said we're within 42 pips, 41, 42 pips. This is where the price is, should not breach to this point, where the price is, which is about 66. The price had gone down. So, but to this pink, that was what I said, that's about 40 pips. Yeah, to that pink. That's it. That's it. The zone of decision is that really for price. Now, this is the daily resistance here, and that falls quietly where we have that 50, so that the price should not breach. So our blue box, we are actually inside the blue box, but I don't expect price to push up to this point. Now we have looked at the daily resistance. We have to look at the weekly resistance also. That must not be invalidated, because if price should break that, then we may be pushing higher. So now looking at here, this is the level. I say price is the daily resistance, and the weekly resistance is pretty much in this zone. So this zone, if price should even walk up to this zone, yeah, it has violated a 50 for me. The fourth wave is not on the table anymore. So I will know that we are going to have a pullback for further upside when we come to this zone. So that's how to look at it, because price should not even violate that. So price should stay within this area of a resistance. And it's also a weekly support. Let's see. It's going to be like that. Look at this green. It is going to have a tail to this side. Let's look at it. Exactly. So the green also is having a tail to this side. That's the support. Price should not do more than that. And that is where we are seeing reaction already now. Very close to it. Price should not do more than that. Anything more than that, in fact, you don't have to walk up here before we know that something had changed. So price for me might just make a little push to the upside before coming down. So I think that is well taken, and we understand what exactly price wants to do. So that for me, it's what I want us to see. Break out of structure. Price is just breaking out of structure. Momentum is lost, and where to have another entry is what we are looking at. But first, let's see a good move. Let's see a good move, because we are still going to come down. This is just correction inside correction. So we are still going to come down, see a proper move of with 1 and with 2. This is just like an immediate move, because if you look at it on the 1 hour, it looks big. On the 4 hour, is actually small. That correction is small. Yeah, it's small for with 1. small for wave one. Yeah, it's small for wave one. Look at this one. This is like a wave one, and then wave two situation. And inside wave three, wave one, wave two situation before we now finish up this. And because this is the last leg of 5, you can see how long 4 itself is. Okay, I think if we break out of here, then we are in wave 3. Wave 3. But we'll see how it forms. We continue to plan the structure. But we shouldn't do more than this. We shouldn't reach 98. Yeah, 700 or so. Yeah. Not reach that. Now, I want us to see something. The bigger picture of what may happen. So let me go inside the weekly, and that's where I'm going to end this training. The bigger picture of what may happen is the weekly. So we can see that this thing felt like a knife. It felt like a knife. There's not a major correction, after this move. After this correction, there's not a major correction. Felt like a knife. Two things that you should be looking for. I think looking at the way this price came down, I think we're just finishing with 3. I think we're just finishing with 3. Permit me to go to another instrument. Let me just go to another instrument to show us that. This one should give me something. Good. I think I'm just finishing with 3. I think so. Okay, yes, I don't have anything to back that. So I think I'm just finishing with 3. And I want us to see this big picture. From here to here, so this trend line was never violated. And before you can say we are losing momentum, we have to, this is very, very bearish. The momentum is so high. I mean, to the downside, it's just pushing. Now, the immediate one we have to break also is this. That's the immediate one we have to break. So I want you to see all of that before we can say we are doing something. This may be the first push of wave 1 and wave 2 before this to a 3. So what I'm trying to say now is that we have to finish this one. This wave, if you look at the correction of wave 5 is not ended with this push. So we still need to come down, finish this wave, and before we have a push to the upside. So if we have a push to the upside, I don't think with this move, I don't think we are going to see a reversal. That is what I'm saying. We might be inside wave 4 for months, about half a year, before we turn down a wave 5. So this is like a wave 3 that we are finishing. If you ask me, wave 3 like what? This is a wave 1, and this is a wave 2, and this is a wave 3. That's what I'm saying. The minimum it could be is to say this is a wave 1, a wave 2, and a wave 3, and you want to do a wave 2, a wave 4. So that's the minimum it can be, but I think it's a wave 1 and a wave 2. So between here when price is changing direction, most of the time you don't know. It's like a wave one and a wave two situation here. And sorry, sorry, a wave three situation here, where we have a wave four. Oh, sorry. I think I'm getting something wrong now. Let me look at the entire move. Okay, okay. I think it's from here. Yeah, turning down. Okay, turning down. Okay, I remember that we said this is like a wave. Okay, this is the area that we had a wave one and a wave two, and a wave three and a wave four. Situation. So, okay, yeah, I think that's in order. So we might be seeing this as a wave one, wave two, wave three situation, or a wave one and two. So what I'm trying to say, let's take this for now. Let's take this for now. Okay. So that is how to, because it actually it fell down like a knife. It's very sharp to the downside. Uh, I don't think we have corrected four. This is like, I don't think this is just a three. It could be a one, a two, three scenario. So is it a two to that one? Is it a two scenario to it? Let's see. Before it can be a two scenario to it, it has to go beyond 161.8. So from the beginning of a one to a two, because if it's not five wave and it's a three wave corrected format, and back to this point. Yeah. So if that is the case, if it's going to work like that, then a three, the 3-5 should be coming a bit down to this area. So which means price may fall to 92, which I don't know, it may happen, but 92, that's really some level. So that's big, that's it, huge. If that is what price would do to finish 3-5, that's about 500 pips from where the price is. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. If that is going to happen, it's not impossible. 500 pips from where price is at the moment, but from the low, the recent low is just about doing about 230 pips extra. Yeah, so it's not impossible before we see a push of downside. So price may still walk down to 93. That's what I'm saying now. But if we have to take this one as a with one with two situation, let me use that. if we have to take this as a wave one and wave two situation. Now, is this one even a wave one with wave two situation? The first one in purple, is it? That's actually a 90, is not likely. So I will not be calling that. That's a 90. I will not be calling that. I will not be calling that. So the second one, this is in blue, is it? Yes. That one is 85. So this one is a strong possibility. So if we are to take that, price are done far more than 61.8. Far price are done more than that, but because we have not seen a major correction, and we might be seeing, you know, all these flat corrections. This one is a zigzag, which is deep. So we might be seeing a flat correction and myriad of corrections. Now, so the 2 to 3 situation, the price will go down to correct 4. Then the 4 should come to this level. The 4 should come to this level, which may change one price finishes and should not exceed this level. But I'm going to mark in red. This is what we are going to expect very soon. So that is what we're going to expect very soon. The situation whereby price will crawl up to that area before we now finish up with 5 of the cycle now, of this cycle that we are likely to see. We're still going to turn down. So before we finish that with 5, that's what I'm saying. So this is huge because it's going to give at least about 1,000 pips move. So that is what price. So in that case, it's going to be an ABC correction and not a reversal if that happens. So that's the big picture. Another, it could be if we are saying that this is a 2, it will just be a slight change. It will just be a slight change. If that is a 2, so it means that it's almost at the same place. The purple will now be very close here. So, and it's just a little change, really. If you think in terms of these two, it's just a little change, really. Yeah. So for either you take this one as a 1 and a 2, or you take this one as a 1 and a 2 situation, the price 38 is at this level, really. And it shouldn't go beyond here before we turn downwards again. So what we are likely going to see, we're going to see a break out of here, and price should not break this trend before we turn down again. So 1,000 pips move and we turn down to now finish up that, because it's not corrective. This is motive, and I've not seen a correction of, that will work up. So in that case, if that happens, you now say, okay, yes, we have broken out of this 3. Price is working up here to do a 4 and a 5 in a clear divergence before we now change trend. So we are not changing trend now. But at the same time, this might be taking some time. So because before we can climb up to this area, let me see. Before we can climb up to this area from here, if it's going to happen that way, before we can climb up to this area to eat this, what is it giving me in terms of time? this is telling me in terms of time, this is giving me maybe December. That's what it's giving me. It's giving me December. December, January, that is when we will eat this if it happens in 2 weeks. So we are in October now. So October, that's the 10th month. So in about 2.5 months, we might just do that in about 2.5 months or 3 months. Yes, we might do that in about 2.5 or 3 months. So by December, we should be turning down again. Late December, January, we should be turning down again. That is what this one is giving me now in terms of what I can see here. So we might be in that move for December, not 6 months, but 3 to 4 months. And when we do that, we're going to be finishing 5. And to be finishing 5, I would rather stay with that within that blue. So we're finishing 5. This will change because we have not marked the end of that. So we may now see price now crawling in between this area. Crawling to this area of 88 and 88 or this low. Yeah, this low between this area. So we might now see price thereafter between 93 and 88 before we now change gear. So we'll see how that plays out. But that is the bigger picture really. That is the big picture really. That is the big picture really. So where I'd marked before, if I go inside of that, I'm going to end soon. So it's a long video, but I think it will worth it. So yes, we already said that this is like a 3 and this is like a 4. So if it's like a 4, which is a 4 of the bigger correction, so it might just be a single correction and not an ABC. So what we are seeing on an ABC here might just be with 1 and with 2 situation. Then since a wave 3, so we're going to see a wave 4. A wave 4 will test, we test in the territory of wave 1, which is around this area, before we turn wave 5 and we now change entirely. So we are not changing direction now. That's what I'm saying. But we are going to have a big move to the upside and downward. So a 3, a 4, and this is like a 1 and a 2 of this new move. That's what I'm seeing on that side now. So let me go back to which one, the one I used before with that. Yes. So a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 5. So, and if it is a 1, of course, it quite plays out with it that is in the territory of this with 1 that we're going to finish up a 4th here. Then that is the way. We can't just go ahead and be changing direction. No, we're going to do a 4th now. So we're just finishing a 3. And that's end of discussion. We break out of here, we're into 4, and for about the next 3 months, then we turn down again to this area, then we now change the trend. So the trend is not going to change until next year, maybe next year, I can't tell. Let's see the end of week 4 first. End of week 4 first. Might be next year around middle of next year. January before we change. Sorry, yeah, next year, 2023, and June before we change the trend. Thank you. God bless you.